Hello, my name is Anne and welcome to episode 4 of a Tobyknits Quilty Fun. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I showcase 3 of my favorite crafts, knitting on Monday and crochet sometimes. Wednesdays is cross stitch, so it's a floss tube video, and Fridays it's quilting, which is new to me in the past year. I've created 3 playlists so that if you just want to watch all the quilting ones, you can just watch the Quilty Fun videos, or if you want the cross stitch ones, you can watch that, or I mean, just watch all of them really. They're kind of fun and they're not very long. So if you are returning, and I have so many new viewers, so thank you so much for coming back and checking me out. So today is all about the quilting, and it's going to be actually quite long because I've a lot to tell you. First off, I finished the Mon Cheri quilt and I've basted it. So that means I bought background, and I'm going to start, I think, walking foot quilting it today or tomorrow. Wish me luck. Let me show you. What it looks like. Sorry, I just pulled a needle out of my sweater. I don't know if you realize that's what I was doing, but have you ever done that? Have you ever like wound up with, I thought, what is poking me? I'm not quite sure why it wound up there, but it did. There you go. So let me show you. This is the background that I picked, backing that I picked. I always call it background. So this is the background. It's like a lovely grunge, and it's 108, so it's a wide back. And the lady at Taylor's, which is my new exciting local quilting store in Brockville, Ontario, Canada, she suggested the wide back because I wanted to do the same the binding the same as the backing. So she said, if you get the wide back, you'll have left over, and you can use that. So that was very exciting. So I got that because, as you know, the actual front of the quilt, while I'm unraveling it here and hoping it all doesn't fall apart, has the blue grunge. So the background will have the gray grunge, which I thought was amazing. Now, let me see which way this goes. I think it's this way. And I'll stand far back as I can to show you. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh, I can't get it all the way up. Oh. Well, there you go. Maybe I'll put this picture up so you can see what it really looks like finished. But it's so nice. I love the fabric. It's Whimsical Romance, which is a Moda fabric. And it really is nice. Anyway, I'm going to have to put this down. Oh, because it's huge. It's actually bigger than I thought it was going to turn out to be. Which is nice. If I can find my book, I'll tell you how big it is. Here's my quilter's planner. So it is 52.5 by 62.5. So yeah, it's come out really good. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's supposed to be for my husband, but I think I might have to have it. Maybe not, maybe not. So yes, I'm really enjoying that. So that's finished, which means I could start another one. Because I am a kind of monogamous quilter. I do like to focus on one quilt and get it done and finished before I start on another. Now that does not include block of the months. And I have 2 block of the months to show you next. Well, Actually, no, one isn't a block of the month. Okay, let me show you the block of the month first. So I told you last week that I was going to do a Quilting Life block of the month, which is Sherry McConnell, and she does these every year. She's got them all up on her blog for last year, and this one just started, so this is the January block. And so that's what it looks like. She's using her new Seashore Drive fabric, but I couldn't get any of that. I don't even think it's available for us yet. So I am using, what am I using? Oh, I forget what I'm using. I'll have to put a link here. I forget. I literally forget. So, but it's very similar. So this is my block one. And you can do it a 12-inch or a 6-inch. I'm doing 6-inch because if you do a 6-inch, okay, it's 1 minute. It's driving me mad not remembering what this fabric was called. And it's Fresh Fig. And these are the blocks that I'm going to use. So in her pattern, you need 12 to 14 or something fat eighths or fat quarters. And what I figured I would do was I took a petite bundle, which is 12 fat quarters, cut them in half. So that gave me 2 sets of fat eighths. So I am going to make my blocks out of these, and the other half of the blocks, I'm going to make another quilt, which is specifically designed for fat eighths, which is also another Sherry McConnell quilt. So this was what I'm making these with, and it's very similar if you look to her pattern. And I did try to make the colors similar. She's gonna do a turn dash. And again, I did say I'm a new quilter. So I think this was the perfect square. Maybe that one, but these two kind of had a little issue with their whole, I'm not quite sure what happened to that half square triangle or whatever you call them, but it didn't kind of turn out, but I still like it. It's my first block. These all came out kind of good. That one maybe is a little bit too far apart, but it's interesting when you're working with a 6-inch block compared to, I've usually done 9-inch or 12. So it is kind of interesting. The smaller you get, the more important it is to get all your points and corners and edges straight. And I did press this one, some of the seams open and then the others back, but I think I might do all of them open next time just to make it easier, because I feel like maybe that's what happened. But you can see there's like this whole bunch of fabric in the corner where you're trying to sew. So I think for the next block I will do them open, all open. But that's a nice block. I'm not sure how we're supposed to end up putting it all together, finishing it. I might check her last one to see. But so the other block that I'm also making, and this is a fat quarter shop design. Now every year what she does is design a pattern for her scraps, for her leftovers. I don't like scraps. I do have some, but I'm not a lover of them. I'd rather just, anyway. This is a pattern and it's called Swirling Stars. What Kimberly did is she takes all the scraps left over. This is a free pattern, so you can download it off their website. She took all her scraps that were left over and she made squares. Now there's a huge square and then there's 2 smaller squares. This is the smallest square. And what I did was the fabric I had left over, which wasn't a huge amount, but it was not enough to do anything new with, is from the Mon Cheri quilt that I just did. And so I took all that, and you use the triangle paper that she has and make all these, which made them beautiful. Look at these points compared to the other one that I just showed you. Look at that. All my points match. They're all beautiful. And again, I pressed everything open, which I think really did help me when I was piecing them. So this is the first one, and so I will know when I look at this, this was the Mon Cheri quilt that I made, and I made it for Bob. So my plan is whenever I have a leftover fabric from either a fat quarter bundle or from, so for example, the fresh frig, when I finish making that quilt, the one that I'm going to use, the second set of fat 8s, if I have leftover of that, I'll make a block, and then that will show me that I made a quilt that year, this year 2022, with that fabric. So I think that will be a fun thing. So it's not necessarily going to be a block of the month, but each time I do make a new block, I will show you. And I have all the triangle papers I need to make it. So I don't know if I'll have enough leftover fabric to make the big ones. I may end up just making the small ones, but I mean, look how big the small one is. I think this is 12 by 12 or something like that. So actually, I'll just tell you, no, it's 11 and a half by 11 and a half. So it's still a decent size if you have a whole pile in one year. So let me check my notes. I told you about that. So what is my new one going to be that I want to get started? I'm going to do this one. And this is called Unraveled. And this was one of the fat quarter sew sampler boxes. Now I love getting the sew sampler boxes. They are normally a monthly, but they've been a little bit difficult to get at the moment because of COVID and certain things weren't available to them. So they've been holding them back. I believe my November one just shipped and we're January. So we haven't had November. The last one we got was the Mon Cheri one that I got, and that was October. But I think the November one has shipped. This one I think might have been August. Let's see if I have it in my book here. This one was June's sew sampler, the Unraveled. This was the June one we got. And the fabric for that, we actually got 2 charm packs. And this is the Seamstress, which is a laundry baskets quilt. Oh, let's see if I can show you some of the... Isn't that pretty? Oh, it's hard to show you really. And the pinks. Anyway, so I have 2 of these in order to make this, and I did get the they used to put out, they don't do it anymore, a finishing kit. So they would send you the backing and then the colors you need to do the borders, which are from the same line. So those colors, so that'd be nice. So I'm going to make this for my daughter-in-law, whose birthday is February, but obviously I'm not going to get it done. But I told her, I let her pick which one she wanted to have, and this will finish up 46.5 by 46, so it is a throw. But what I'm going to do is I checked the pattern, and I think I'm going to have enough to make another row of blocks and then just make it that little bit longer for her. So and then I haven't got much left over. But anyway, so that's my next one to start once I finish quilting the Mon Cheri. So things I've had in the mail. I got this. So this is my I think this was December's, or it could have been November's. Love Notes is this fabric, and this is, I get the Fat Quarter bundle from Fat Quarter Shop. It's the Moda bundle, because I love Moda fabrics. And so, aren't they gorgeous? I don't know yet what I want to do with them, but there's 12 fat quarters, and they're so, I think it may end up costing me about $50 with the shipping from the US for 12 fat quarters. So I think that's a deep, like, I've looked at getting the fat quarters in the Canadian stores. Not all of them do a bundle like this, but when they do, they're a bit more expensive. So even with the shipping and the exchange rate, this comes out to be a bit cheaper for me right now. But I just love this one. The Love Notes. I really do like it a lot. So anyway, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that. Plus, this week in the mail, I got another one. Sorry for reaching over here. I have something to tell you. That's why I have to reach over. My cotton cuts. So I got this one in the mail. This is my... So this is, if you don't know what this is the Olympia mystery, puzzle mystery. So every month they send me pieces like this, and they're all pre-cut and even have the corners snipped. And you basically will sew them together like this, based on the colors. And the colors that I chose was called Dorothy, and which is my mom's name. Was my mom's name, she's passed. And so what you do with these is you put, but you have, obviously that's not a block, right? That's not a block. But what will happen was at the end of our, if it's the 10th month or the 11th month or something, they send us how to put the blocks all together like a jigsaw puzzle and make a quilt. And it comes out to some kind of a pattern. And but I still haven't done last month's, which so I have to get on with that. There's a lot in that, a lot of sewing in that, so that's going to be something to work on. And what else have I got to tell you? The final thing that I got to tell you is I took a class at Ortega Quilts Co. in Prescott, Ontario, to do the big quilting machine, long arm machine. It still terrifies me just to think about it, and I would really love, obviously, to quilt from home. Now I have two machines. One is a very old single sew machine that I've had about 38 years. I think I got it when I first came to Canada, and it just has a 2 stitches zigzag and straight. Love it. And then the other one is a Benina. No, it's not a Benina. It's a brother machine that I have had about 2 years that my daughter-in-law gave me when they moved to Nova Scotia. And it's got all kinds of fancy doodads on it. Anyway, I've decided to use that one for piecing and the Singer for quilting. And I'm trying to learn how to quilt myself. So what my husband did for me was he cut a hole in the table that I was using to cut as my cutting table, and dropped the Singer down into it, so that now I have a much easier area to lay out the quilt, you know, as best I can to actually do some quilting. And I have a excuse me, a ruler foot and a walking foot. I'm taking a ruler class next month online through Taylor's in Brockville, and I think it's with a company and sewing place in BC. So Steady? I don't know, I'll put a link to that too. And anyway, so, but I also do have a walking foot. So while I was at Taylor's, I picked this up, Edge to Edge Walking Foot Quilting. And it's a really cool little book that tells you how to set up and various types of quilting you can do and designs, and how all these designs make up various, oh, let me get you an easier one than that, various patterns. So a simple, you can do something simple, or you can add and do something else. And these all look really easy enough that I think I could follow. So this one I'm going to do for Bob, I'm just going to do like a ziggy-zaggy line to do the like the walking foot can kind of do like a curvy thing. So I'm going to do that on this one, but I was thinking I might like to do this design on my leaf one that needs to be quilted. Or I might do the other one I thought was nice, because I don't want to do something too complicated at first, or even that one. I thought that looked kind of nice, and just something that's not going to be too difficult at the beginning until I've got, oh, even that one, look at that one. So, and all you do to make this is go the other way. Isn't that crazy? So I'm hoping to piddle about with this. So I'm hoping to mess about with this and check out some new designs I can come up with for my other quilts. So I'll let you know how I get on with that. So I think that's basically all I have. I tend to have waffled on a little bit, so hopefully my new internet won't mess up and I'll be able to get this uploaded in time. I hope you have a wonderful week. I will see you all next Friday for another Quilty Fun, or Monday if you like knitting. So stop by. Talk to you soon. Bye.